Everyone. Alright, so here's my second video. Hopefully I'll have another one out just before my birthday, but we'll see how that turns out. So I want to really recap on Watchmen since I watched it a second time with my dad. Now to prepare for watching Watchmen, because he didn't know anything about the story, I wanted to show him what the comic book was like. Now of course, trying to get the original 12 comic books that came out for Watchmen is probably going to be very difficult because of how popular it is, but I really didn't check, and well, getting him to read the whole graphic novel would be a little more difficult. So I thought, why not do the next best thing and get that complete motion comic, Watchmen. Yes. And of course, if you do buy it, they have a ticket inside. It's $7.50 worth of a ticket off. Amazingly, if you qualify, if you have, if you get, I guess, a discount, like a senior discount, something like that, then the $7.50 basically pays for the whole ticket. Who knew? Anyway, for people who have read the comic book and have watched the movie, you probably were not really too disappointed. As for everyone else who just watched the movie and didn't read the comic book, if you're comparing it to this, which is a comic book, because I downloaded the torrent and I read or compared them, and they're identical, the torrent comics and the motion graphic. If you compare the motion graphic DVD with Watchmen the movie, 90% of it is identical. I mean, exactly. And now we're going to talk about one thing, which is at the end. Spoilers. So if you don't want to hear it, yeah, click stop. If you don't care, then keep listening. So at the end of the movie, or near the end, what's his name? Adrian goes ahead and copies Dr. Manhattan's power. And of course he uses that to blow up a chunk of New York City. And to do that, and of course to make peace among the world and have everyone reunite against, well, technically Dr. Manhattan, who will lose planet Earth forever. Or not forever, but leaves for now, I guess you can say, unless they make a part 2 or something like that. Anyway, if you go back to the comic books or the motion graphic DVD, instead of Adrian copying Dr. Manhattan's energy, what he does instead is he creates a genetically altered squid and uses the brain of a psychic and amplifies it by 1,000 times, something like that. Really odd. And the thing is that he figured out how to teleport things, just like Dr. Manhattan teleports. But the only problem is that when he teleports something, when Adrian teleports something, it will explode right when it appears. Anything that's living just blows up. So he comes up with this idea of taking the squid that's huge, I mean gigantic, and teleporting it to the heart of New York and letting it explode there. And that's basically it. And then the same events follow. Well, they don't blame Dr. Manhattan, but basically roughly the same events follow. And Rorschach still dies at the end. And Dr. Manhattan goes to create life on some other planet. So if you thought the ending was kind of crappy, or if you thought maybe it wasn't like the comic book, it was. If you didn't like the music that was from Watchmen, well, according to the comics and according to Wikipedia, they took the music straight from the comics, the references, and they put it straight into the movie. So yeah, watching it the second time was a lot better. First time, really, I thought it was okay, so-so, because it was really like trying to put all the pieces together in this big puzzle. But a second time, having a better handle on the whole thing, it was a lot better. I really liked it. I'll probably buy a DVD. If they have a collector's edition, I'll probably get that. And my dad, wow, he definitely loved it. Oh, for people who haven't seen it, do not take your kids to watch this movie. Don't. For some reason, I don't know why, but If you think it's a superhero film, it should be safe for kids. It's not. It's rated R. And just because it's rated R doesn't mean cool. You're gonna really love it. No. The reason why this thing is rated R is because it's very graphic. Very graphic. And one of the scenes, we'll say one person's fighting another, he takes a knife, goes straight through the arm, but it shows the blade come out this way, and you see the blood and everything else ooze out. You might be saying cool, but it looks too realistic. There are a lot of other things that take place that you wouldn't really see in thriller movies or horror movies at all, but they show it in Watchmen. Even a majority of the plot, or not the plot, but the storyline, there's certain parts that just make you see how realistic it is. A comparison, let's say you saw Spider-Man and then you see Dark Knight. Well, those are two superhero films, but you notice that the reality is totally different. Spider-Man is almost, I wouldn't say fantasy based, but still, the characters and all that, everything that's in there is too friendly. Even when it gets dark, it doesn't get that dark. In Dark Knight, it gets very dark. Very realistic. And that's my sister yawning. She says hi. If she ever does. Anyway, so yeah, Spider-Man, Dark Knight, superhero movies, but they're two completely different types of film. And the same thing is with Watchmen. It's not like X-Men, it's not like Spider-Man, it's not like any superhero movie. It's not even like Dark Knight. I was gonna say you could compare it to it, but it's not. It's just a different type of film altogether. Yes, true, it touches down on superheroes, but still more of a rated R film. I'm having a lot of trouble trying to describe this. Well, you'd have to see it for yourself. But really, it's not for kids. And if kids do actually go watch this movie, they're not going to be happy. Unless they're very, 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 very mature. Because of a lot of adult situations. Yeah. And that's another thing. So, it's not so much the fighting, and if you love gore and violence, it's not about that either, but sometimes it's about the situation, and I think some people might not really understand it. Yeah, so if you guys have seen Watchmen, let me know what you think, if you agree with what I'm saying here, and if you can find a good comparison, or how to really throw this into a category where everyone will actually understand what I'm talking about. Now, after saying that, I've noticed a lot of similarities in the movie, and I just want to bring it to your attention. And I wouldn't think, because I know there's probably rumor of this going on, that the comedian was Robert Downey Jr. Because he really looked like him, like Iron Man. And then anyone ever think that Dr. Manhattan kind of looked like Vision, aka Silver Surfer? Both of them kind of look the same, just Dr. Manhattan's blue. Also the Night Owl the second, the one that kind of looks like Batman. Well, in his normal identity, he kind of looks like Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm just saying. And Silk Spectre, there we go. Anyone know she looks like Xena, Warrior Princess? And last thing is Rorschach. Did I say that right? Rorschach. I guess so. When he takes off his mask, when he's finally revealed, he looks like a very angry Martin Short. I was reading online, someone actually compared him to Clint Eastwood. I can kind of see it there, but still, he looks like Martin Short, hands down. Just like the opposite side, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, there you go, Martin Short. Maybe split personality. So, yeah, that's what I kind of started to notice after watching it a second time. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yes, I'm tired. I didn't get much sleep. I'm running on 5 more hours of sleep. So I'm trying to stay awake here. moving on, if you do have the Ghostbusters Complete series by Time Life, take a look at your Volume 4, Disc 2. There's one episode called 3 Men and an Egon. Now, amazingly, YouTube actually helped with me figuring this out. This episode is played where the audio is actually kind of stretched out. Even though it doesn't bend in pitch, the audio stretches out. It's like you're slowing down the tempo, but the pitch maintains. And that's what the whole episode is. At first I thought maybe that's how the episode was. So I went on YouTube, I looked it up, and I played it. And you know what? It sounded fine to me. But when I play on the DVD, the one from Time Life, it's really slow. And in some ways distorted. And you might be thinking, well, maybe it's a DVD player. No, I tried it on my laptop, same effect. And I showed it to my brother, same thing. So I went ahead and emailed them that they're going to be reissuing me a volume 4. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Do I have to send back the original volume? Well, I'll keep you posted on that. And if you guys do have it, double check. Maybe mine is the only one. Who knows? So yeah. See, who says YouTube isn't good? Let's see, last but not least, my birthday's coming up. By the time you see this, I'll have 4 days left until my birthday. Yeah, 4 days. And I turn 28. Yeah, kinda scary. I just got used to being 27, now 28, just like that. And it's funny, I actually shaved this off. Yes, Mr. R Evil 1. Yeah, I shaved this off. Well, except for that. I was trying something new and then I just wound up shaving the whole thing off. And wow, do I look a lot younger. Someone said I looked like I was 24 or like 22. Imagine what happens if I shave this off and get zero all around. Yeah, I look like a teenager again. Anyway, I guess that's a good thing, to kind of look like you're young. But another bad problem is you get ID'd everywhere. There's this one fun incident at GameStop. Yeah, I went into a GameStop a while back in December, and I was buying Conquer Live and Reloaded for a friend. Later on I returned it because I changed my mind, but it's rated M. And so I'm buying it, and she's like, "Do you have ID?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "Well, we have to ID you, make sure you're over 18. I'm like, "I'm over 18. She said, "Well, we still have to ID you until you're age 25. And I'm just thinking, I'm 27 and you're still IDing me. What's the point? I mean, at the age of 25, do people look that much older? Is it just, how would you be able to tell just by seeing that person? It's just a rule of thumb. Oh, well, yeah, he looks like he's 25. We're not going to card him. No, of course not. Anyway, so yeah, birthday's coming up. And I am still a little bit nervous about it because I'm going to be visiting 2 of my friends. One of my friends who passed away, I visited him last year. That was a little difficult for me. Again, even talking about it still gets me a lot. I really have trouble talking about it at times if I go into a lot of detail about it. But yeah, I'm going to be visiting him this year. And of course, one of my other friends who passed away, who I've known since preschool. Of course, I've done blogs I've mentioned before, Christopher Northey. I'm finally going to be able to visit him because his cousin was kind enough to give me the address. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure that's going to be very, very difficult. Last time I went ice skating in memory of him instead of actually visiting him. And I know I don't know if this is odd or maybe some people actually do this for their birthday, but I just feel like it's something that I should do. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what makes me feel better. As for doing it on my birthday, I'm not sure why, but it feels right. So, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. I guess it's time for shoutouts. We'll see who I can remember this time. A shout out to my friend Nick. Yeah, let me know what you think of Watchmen. I'm still gonna try to figure out. I'm still gonna try to watch that movie that you mentioned when you messaged me. I'll let you know if I see it. Shout out to Mr. R Evil One, to Saint and Sailors, Miss Abby. Let's see who else. Pink Crusader. Let's see, Spiffy Rich, and Wayne. And for some reason, I'm always having trouble remembering what yours is. I don't know why. Your channel or screen name. There we go. Stealthy Bob. Stealthy. Yeah. And I know there's so many people I can give shout outs to. I just always forget. You know what? I think I know who I want to give a shout out to. And I swear you're going to find this weird and strange, but I think it's appropriate. Or I'll explain later. But I'm going to give a shout out to Ultra Neko.